guys, my name is Onokoye Oluwasegun. Welcome to the era.
And my name is Mohammed Adijat.
Yep.
Welcome.
Today we want to talk about relationship.
Okay, relationship is the connection between one or more person. Is what you have with one or two people. It can be between you and your siblings. It can be between you and your parent. That's why sometimes when you have to fill forms, you see the bracket, they put relationship. It can be between you and your friend. But today we're talking about relationship from the partner aspect, from the lover aspect, and that's basically what we're talking about today.
So today we are talking about relationship between a man and a woman, with the view of being in love with each other and working towards getting married.
Relationship is supposed to maintain love, care, trust, consent, God-fearingness, and most importantly, communication. Communication most times breaks home, breaks relationship, and is a very, very important tool, because if you didn't pour out your heart, I wouldn't know what's going through in your mind.
So talking about communication, talking about love, trust, or caring for one another, it shouldn't be on one side. Like, it shouldn't be one-sided thing. Like, it should be something that comes from both.
Balance,
that is balanced. Exactly. So if you don't balance it in a relationship, there might be problem.
Yes, there might be problem.
Yeah. So it's very important in any relationship you are, especially when it comes to lovers. You have to balance all these things.
Yes, it has to be on an equilibrium level, because it will get to an extent where you say you are no longer wanted in this relationship, which is not really nice. So we want to discuss about the red flags. Relationship has both the good and the bad aspect of it. It has the advantage and has the disadvantage of it. Sacrifice is very, very important in when we talk about the red flag. People, before they come into a relationship, they have what they do. They have their hobbies, they have their likes, they have their normal way of life, they have their culture. So
they even have their own career that they want to pursue, which is different from the other. So the reason why we are talking about this, we have witnessed so many marriages that has crumbled within maybe 2 months or 3 months, or
relationship
6 months,
is even lasting more than marriage.
Exactly. So I think there are some things that have not been
there are
taking notes.
loopholes.
Yes, exactly.
Like lapses.
Exactly. That you don't. We are not saying here that everybody is perfect.
Yeah.
No one is perfect.
Everyone has flaws.
Yeah. You don't have to look for perfection. Like, this person must be a perfect, except you want to marry an angel. So, which is not possible. So, but at the same time, you have to look at some red flags. In those things. For you to in the relationship, for you to know that this person.
It's not meant for me.
Exactly.
Or probably
this
we can't
person
last so long.
Or probably
together.
This person we can go on together. So
anything you are sacrificing that is taking away your joy, is at the detriment of your comfort or your joy, or is reducing your self-esteem, your career is not going smooth, and you are in a relationship. I'm sorry to say, but you are not meant to be there. Relationship is supposed to be supportive. It's supposed to be encouraging. It's supposed to be motivational. Okay, and my partner is doing this. Yes, let me be motivational too. Not that you have a partner, or probably you're in a relationship that the person is always complaining about your path of career, the way you do things. Relationship, unless I forgot, it entails tolerance, perseverance. You have to be able to tolerate yourself, because you people have different background. I'm from a different background. You are from a different background. It's a whole lot for me to take. But we still have to, learn to accommodate ourselves in a relationship.
So, and in some cases, there are there are ladies, or probably
marriageable age,
who are of marriageable age.
Yeah.
You understand? So that are willing to get married, but because of the pressure, they tend to look, away from all those things. They tend to overlook all those things.
As a lady,
red flags. They want to get into that marriage so quickly.
Yeah.
So.
As a lady, you have age, and your parents, sometimes the pressure might not even come from your parents. It might be your mom's friend, your dad's friend, because their own children are being lucky to get married. probably based on some reason. Maybe it might not even be on the right way, but they just get lucky and they got married. They will now use it to spite you.
Exactly.
Like you are unsuccessful. Even if you are working, you are doing fine, they still see you as nobody, or probably you haven't met up to the standard. So until you are married, and the pressure might want to push you, even if you are seeing the red flag, you are seeing the abuse, you are seeing the violence. A man that can slap you can do more. A man that can eat you can do more. I don't advise people that get hit once and they say it's a mistake to stay in that marriage, because it might not lead to something very great. And marriage is supposed to be something sweet, something we both should enjoy.
I'll use an example. For instance, when I was a little boy, you know, my family used to tease me a lot, especially my mom. My mom can say, okay, Shegun, I will buy you so thing. Are you going to give me part of it? You know, for instance, you can say, okay, I'll buy you biscuits. And you say, okay, are you going to give me part of it? And I'll say, no, I won't give you, I won't give you. You can imagine, the biscuit is not yet in my hand. But yet I'm telling my mom that I won't give her, I won't give her.
Yes,
so it's the same thing with the relationship. You are yet to get married, both of you are still courting, and he has started or she has started behaving abnormally or doing some kind of things that are you can't cope with. Exactly. So what do you think such person will do when you finally get married? So that is why you need to look into all those red flags. Don't go into any marriage because of pressure from your parents or
societal
anybody from
pressure.
exactly.
Anything.
Yeah.
Because so, most of the time, people have what always happens in a relationship, and why it always crumble most of the time is, as a person, I already have a plan of how my life would be. I already have a structure of my life. Meeting my partner, it has into his own too. So we have to look for a way for it to fit in. It's a lot of, you have to cope, you have to shed away some of things that are very important to you.
Exactly.
Just to make it work.
Exactly.
So you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Don't be pushed. Don't look at your friends that are already married, that have kids. Don't look at whosoever that are married. Some people commit suicide because the relationship is not working. I mean, I've heard a lot of pathetic stories. Someone forsake his or her career and all of that. And most of the time, we always talk about relationship and guys that are abusive to girls. We don't look at girls. People don't want to, even when they see it happening, they don't want to reason it. Some men are weak, that their woman actually beats them. I've heard stories like that they are so weak that, and it's not like he's weak, he's just trying to be respectful. So please, let's talk to our male friends, our female friends that are going through this. There are a lot of channels, there are a lot of programs to call when you are going through an abusive relationship or abusive marriage. Really, it's not encouraging, because it can cost your life, and it's when you are alive that you can pick up the pieces and move on. When you are dead, you can't do that any longer.
So Adijat, there's this saying that I didn't agree with, that people used to say that marriage is an institute that you receive your certificate before you begin. So what I wanted to say, what I wanted to bring out of this is that single stage should be the time whereby you are learning.
Yeah, learning process.
Learning process, as if you are in school, to learn everything in marriage. It is difficult for you to know everything in marriage. The same way it is difficult for you to know everything in school before you start working. You understand?
So you have to learn on the job.
Exactly, you have to learn on the job. The same way marriage is. So the single stage is the perfect place for you to learn so many things about marriage. So it's not something that you need to rush into. You don't have to rush. Take your time.
Sometimes, based on what you said, if I could deduce, sometimes you can't actually learn everything in a single stage. I've had an encounter with like an older sister, and I asked her during her honeymoon, and I was like, how is marriage treating? How far? How is the early stage of marriage? And she was like, oh boy, it's like I never knew this man. It's like we never dated. Like everything is so new. So some people are so good at keeping some of their behavior that you would not even know, you would not see. So sometimes it's even advisable to do some things that do not please your partner, just to know the way the person is going to react whenever they are hungry.